Hi everyone, it's Jay from Mitosu Crafts. Thank you for joining me today and welcome to our channel. I'm hopping along with the Global Stampin Video Hop with the theme of flowers and plants. So I'm using the Hydrangea Haven stamp set with the coordinating hydrangea dies, and those comes as a bundle from the mini catalog. The inks I'll be using are Old Olive, Highland Heather, and Misty Moonlight. I've got a piece of Purple Posy A4 and I'll be creating 3 mini slimline card from one piece of A4. So you just need to score that in half on the long edge. So whatever card base you use, score it in half. And then turn it at 90 degrees and cut that at 7 centimeters or 2 3/4 of an inch. And then that will form our 3 mini slimline card base. So the A4 will fit. If you're using the US letter, I think you'll have a tiny bit of cut. So for the first card, I'm going to use Highland Heather ink with repeat stamping using this stamp. So just if you need a pierce mat, just open that up. And we're going to use second generation, so you do need copy paper or scrap paper. Stamp off and then on your card. So I would say stamp in the middle and then continue on and just add 2 more at the bottom and then 2 more on top. So that's pretty much done, and with the full hydrangea stamp you can just stamp it in Old Olive. And for the sentiment, we're just gonna have a banner and we'll stamp that in Misty Moonlight. We're gonna die cut this using the mini Cut Emboss. Or just cut off a little bit of on top. And then we'll add this on using mini dimensionals. So add mini dimensionals on either side and then insert that in. Cut off the excess and then finish up with the pastel pearls from the Hydrangea Hill suite. So we're just gonna add a couple on there. And that's card 1 done. So you can make the other 2 like this to keep it simple. I'm gonna step it up slightly, doing a bit more watercoloring on the hydrangea and repeat stamping or random stamping on the background for the second card. So we're gonna start with stamping this in Old Olive on normal white. Wait for that to dry a little bit. And for the sentiment, I'm gonna use a different one and we're gonna die cut this later on. I'm gonna stamp that in Misty Moonlight, and for the card base, we're gonna stamp again Misty Moonlight, and I'm gonna use this design randomly. So with this one, I'm gonna fold it up and stamp randomly, and you can actually make this as a whole, just turning it that way. There we go. Use a block to add ink on. So we're gonna add Misty Moonlight on one end and Highland Heather on the other. And before we use the water painters, we can use the filler stamp, and we're gonna use that in Highland Heather second generation. Stamp off and then stamp on. We're also gonna use this stamp to fill in the leaves in Old Olive. Again, stamp off and then stamp on. And now we're going to use water painters. So I'm using the fine tip, and we're going to add Misty Moonlight in between. So you don't want it too wet. Just add Misty Moonlight and then go in between. And you can just do it roughly however you want. And then we're gonna go over the edges as well. We're independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrators based in the UK. So if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, or the Netherlands, you'll be able to purchase current Stampin' Up! Products from our online shop. Do use the current host code, which can be found on our website at mitosocrafts.com to receive a handmade card from us the following month, or extra gifts and tutorials if your order qualifies. Clean your brush, get rid of any excess, and we're gonna add highland heather in between. So just do small flicks or do a crisscross so it's darker in the middle, and then go around the outline as well. So when you die cut it, you won't have stark white edges. You can go back in and add a more concentrated dots of highland heather. So add loads of ink and then do triple dots in the middle. Again, it will dry lighter, but you can still see hints of it. So it's a nice additional interest. I've gone ahead and die cut the hydrangea and the sentiment from the coordinating dies, and we're just gonna add that on there and construct the rest of the card. Before we add that on, we're gonna add some gorgeous gray sheer ribbon. So we're gonna add a belly band, tie a knot. If you hold that in place, so pull it quite tight, hold it in place, and then tie another knot like so, and then just cut off the excess. And then we can add our hydrangea with dimensionals there, and then we're gonna add a bit of Dumbo. To finish up, we're gonna add pastel pearls, and I'm gonna use the Seaside spray. For the third card, we're gonna use Old Olive to stamp the leaves, again randomly, in first generation around the card base. I've gone ahead and colored this. So this was done the same way as the second card, but this one I've added Rococo Rose, filling in the in-between and the dots as well. But that was stamped in, the second generation was stamped in Misty Moonlight as well. And I've done the sentiment using the die, the tag die, and we're just gonna construct this card with dimensionals. I've also cut some flowers for decorations, and we're just gonna add that around. So take your pick tool and the pierce mat just to add dimension, and then just place those on. So we're gonna add that there with ribbon, so probably the length doubled up, and we're gonna add that with mini glue dot at the back. And if you want, you can slit that and insert that in, so you can snip and insert, and that's still connected at the back. Add that on with dimensionals and cut off the ends and then finish up with pastel pearls. Here we are, 3 mini slimline card from one piece of A4 card stock. So from simple to more detailed with watercoloring. I've also made other samples with the same elements but interchanging those in different cards. This one was stamped with the filler of the hydrangea on the background and a hint of the ribbon there. And this one I've cut the leaves and colored the leaves even more with old olive, and that's again a different stamp for the background. And this one was completely done in Misty Moonlight for the stamping and the watercoloring, and again using the pastel pearls for the finishing touches. Do check the description below for the next link in the Global Stampin Video Hop and for the product list I've used today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you've enjoyed this video. Thanks again for joining me today. Until next time, bye!